The question is, or the scenario is, I have a friend I've known for years, and lately it feels like I'm always the one initiating. I text, I check in, I make the plans, but they rarely do the same. I'm starting to wonder if they actually value the friendship or if I'm just forcing it to stay alive. Is this just a busy season for them, or is this a sign I need to let it go?
Ooh, I love this question because I think it can be answered so many ways, right? And it also, I think, it depends on what your values and like what you really want out of a friendship, right?
Yeah.
Because I know people in my own life that I'm related to, that like I'm close with, who maybe go through phases of like really disconnecting, withdrawing, going inward, right? And I know when that's happening that like it has literally nothing to do with me because I know the person, right? And I know what they're up to. And I know like they're probably in the thick of it. And so I think that there's probably context that we should consider when like really understanding how to approach something like this. And also, like I said, like considering what's important to you, like what are your values? Because if it's for you, if it feels like, well, I desire this type of friendship and they're not capable of giving it to me in this season of life, then that's a different, story in the sense of that, like, okay, so then maybe finding or considering um finding connection that supports that
Mhm.
might be more in alignment with like what you're needing in this season and things like that, if that makes any sense. But I don't know, what are your thoughts on this? I'm
Yeah, I
curious.
think I agree. Like context is so important, and there could be so many different things going on here. I think a lot of times, like we're at the tail end of our 20s, which is insane. But if we just think back to like early 20s, leaving high school and making that transition into adulthood, there's a lot of older people in our life would be like, friendships change, like they come and go, and and it's easy at that stage in life to be like, that's not true. Like this is my person, or these are my people. Like this is my
Right.
friend group, and just recognizing that sometimes in life, like you just start walking different paths, and sometimes you outgrow each other in different ways, um, and that's okay. And it can be nice to like try and check in if that's something like it sounds like this person is trying to check in and trying to make plans, but it's not always met with reciprocity or even like maybe openness to engage in those things. And so I guess sometimes it's a matter of like grieving past relationships and just recognizing like these not all relationships last a lifetime, and that can
Right.
feel really sad and painful. And I think at the same time, there's, and we've just like you and I have been through this season, where there's not always like the capacity or emotional availability to engage. And that's okay too. Like
Yeah.
we all walk through seasons where we have greater capacity for friendship and connection and relationship, or to rekindle or to like, maintain a relationship. And we all go through seasons where we just like don't have that capacity. So,
Absolutely. I think that you bring up such a good point too of like as we get older, our like what's on our plate changes. So
yes.
like obviously we don't know the context of this, but like if someone has kids or if someone has, depending on like what their workload is like, there are different factors that sort of like can contribute to like maybe why they aren't communicating the way that they are. And then also, like you said, just like reflecting more on that, like that transition from like being when we're in school together, like, I mean, in high school, we saw each other literally every day. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we had scheduled social time
Yeah.
because we went to school together every day. And then when you graduate, when you go to college, or even if you just move to different cities, like whatever that looks like, yeah, things do evolve. And sometimes too, I think just perspective to consider, and I think you and I can like speak to this too, is um maybe this person, like it's not out of a place of like, I don't want to connect with them or like, I don't care or love this person. Maybe they feel some shame about where they're at. Maybe they're moving through something really difficult that they haven't shared. And so, like, my suggestion, honestly, would be like to just like be really vulnerable and be brave and just say like, hey, I know this might seem like kind of strange to be bringing up, but I really miss you and I really love connecting with you. And lately, when I try to connect or make plans with you, it feels like you don't really have the space or like want to be there. And I'm just checking on you because I love you and I want to know, if like right now it's just a difficult season, or maybe if you're ultimately like just don't have space for this right now or whatever, like however you want to frame it. But I would just ask for clarification because one, then it like the mind loves to wander, loves to tell a good story.
Mhm.
And that just like eliminates
Yeah,
the the mystery, the questioning.
for sure.
Yeah. And then also like then it opens up the dialogue to where maybe like this person is really struggling and now they can actually like say, hey, like, you know what? I'm so sorry. And what I think what we find most often in these moments is it actually doesn't have a lot to do with us and it has so much to do with where the person is and like where they're at in their journey.